Welcome to Botter's News Podcast. This podcast is all about staying ahead of the curve through the implementation of personalized one-on-one conversations with your audience. We focus on designing personas, the conversations they are having, and the technology that is enabling the dialogue. Here are your hosts, Hans and Jerome.
Hi, everyone. Great you're joining our podcast, episode 9, just before the weekend. Great you're tuning in. We're going to have it about automotive. My name is Hans van der Berg.
My name is Jerome van der Linden.
So before today, it's automotive time. So what are the trends in automotive industry, and how can you play with a chatbot in that space? So that's today the agenda.
Sorry for that. I couldn't resist.
Right, with your automotive background, I can imagine. This is for me also going to be an educational moment, so that's going to be cool. Yeah, so it's going to be mostly your show, I would think.
I will show you part one.
Right. Before we hit it off, quick note. Before we get started, when you would like to know more about bots, join our mini course of bot implementation. It goes to the standard stuff about how communication is changing, how you should avoid pitfalls, and it's all about the bot implementation formula. So it's you can see it in the show notes, botimplementation.com/PMC. So join us for that, and would love to see you on that side. So yeah, let's get going with some research here, and let's get started. So about the trends and about the modus, and yep, cool. Let's get going.
Okay. Sorry about that. So first of all, I will be talking a little bit about the automotive stuff. Just give you a little bit of an insight and so on. There's a lot of stuff out there already. There's a lot of communication out there already regarding chatbots in automotive. But then that's relatively straightforward as well. It is one of the more traditional industries, and still they have a very, very big difficulty catching up. So let me take you through it, see what the opportunities are, and any questions, any issues, Hans, you shoot on behalf of the audience. Okay?
Right.
So first of all, word of mouth. I went through some of the research that are out there. There's quite a bit out there as well, but also digital is still something where automotive is dabbling a little bit. They have difficulty getting really the latest stuff out there, and they're not highly innovative, unfortunately, still in this area. It's also a little bit to do with the fact that they are, it is a very, very complex organizational structure with the dealerships on the one hand, who controls the data, etc., that it's not always that straightforward in order to bring and have that communication with your audience. But I think overall, when we look at it, what you can see now, for instance, is that in the industry already, 95% of all vehicle buyers are using digital as a source of information. I think that's no surprise for anybody. Everybody has a mobile, and what you see now as well is most people are using that mobile even on the lot, on the dealership lot as well, to do that search. At the same time, and this was very surprising for me, over 70% of people are using test drive videos on YouTube actually as a source of information. YouTube is by far the second largest search engine nowadays out there, but the videos that you're seeing, it's amazing. People are really looking at this as a source of information in terms of the how, the what, and I caught myself on it as well, that you always fall back on YouTube just to see what is the feedback on that feature as well, and even things such as the how-to. Yeah?
Right, and how is the interior and how does it look like? That's awesome stuff out there that you can look at already. Yeah, sure.
Exactly. You get the 20,000 reviews of people saying it drives like this, it drives like that, this is an awesome feature or not, right? At the same time, what you see is, and this is no surprise, I think, for most people as well is the mobile searches for best car, truck, SUV, or whatever have grown by over 55% in the last 2 years. So basically, the online word of mouth rules. I mean, this is really, if you get killed on online, your product dies as well, effectively. And here it's really about getting those right reviews out there. We've seen it, I've seen it in the past as well with the sports cars, that effectively the fan base is the one that makes or breaks your product. And here we had a very, very strong fan base at the time as well, which really elevated our products and basically secured that we did it almost tenfold. What would you see as well is really the area of my passion, which is the electric vehicles. And here we saw a major uplift. So this is definitely a trend which is coming as well. And I'll get back to that a little bit later as well.
Right. Yeah. So what could you, because 85%, just for the listeners, of course, not on the video cast. So looking for electric car searches is 85%. Because that increases, so we can see so we can significantly see that online searches via mobile, right, and looking at YouTube, that's definitely critical in the journey of people. So how could we potentially then interact with them and engage with them with the one-on-one conversation, because that's of course our spiel in this stuff. Yeah, great. All right, cool.
Yeah. Then basically in terms of the sales experience, now all of it still, even though we see some of the sales starting online, most of the purchases are still happening at a dealership rules. Effectively, the experience that you have at your dealership is still one of the main influences on your brand loyalty as well. So it's critical that this runs smooth, that this runs without any problems whatsoever, and it takes away all the pain points that we're seeing actually in that dealership visits. Moreover, that 10 years ago, effectively, people were doing 5 to 7 visits on a dealership, looking at the various things. And nowadays, they're not even reaching the 2. So
the visits to the dealers decreases due to the fact of online research.
Exactly. Right. Online research, feedback what you get from your friends, family, and more important, the feedback that you're getting through YouTube as well.
Right. Yeah. So that decreases the number of visits. So the visits to the dealerships are getting more important because they're not doing 5 or 7, but just only 2. That's what you're...
Exactly. They are much more directed, and above all, they are much more educated as well when they come to the dealership. In a lot of sense, putting a salesman there which doesn't really know what he's talking about no longer holds water.
Right. Yeah.
Loyalty here, and this is one of the key points as well. When people buy a car, they never think about the service. It's always a big surprise, basically, that you need to take the car for service after the 20,000 or 30,000 kilometers as well. With electric, luckily, it's a little bit less. But here you see a lot of searches still about parts, services, and maintenance related in terms of where do I go, which one is the best one, etc. And the most surprising for me overall, and that's really on the loyalty, is even those people who stay loyal, over 90% is still considering another brand during the entire phase that they consider themselves loyal. So the customer is very fickle about what is the product out there as well. So if you don't treat him right, the fact that he will disappear will very, very quickly.
I didn't know. Yeah, that's pretty amazing. Yeah. So it's very critical to stay connected, related to our parts, stay connected with the customers, with the consumers, with the drivers along the journey, right? That's the message.
Exactly.
Clearly.
Stay connected, make it convenient in terms of the experience, and basically make it painless.
Right. Yep. Even after in usage and all that sort of stuff. Yeah. Okay, cool.
Now, I won't pretend that this was a question from the audience. This is a question from me, really, is how can I engage with my customers in the automotive industry? Yeah.
Right. Yep.
So it's really here is how can we optimize that using the area that we're talking about is really about chatbots.
Yep. How can you start one-on-one conversations in the journey here? Yep.
Exactly. Now, when we look at the customer journey, here it's really about the various phases that we have. So let me start with search. I think the search, most people find it very recognizable as well when everybody is gone out, looked for another car as well. And the question straight off the bat is, what are the cars out there? What is out there? Unless you are the big fanatic who is following all the blogs, all the messaging and so on, it's still for most people a question mark is, what are the products out there? What is relevant at this moment, and which car is right for me?
Right, and that would be when they would go and search and all that sort of stuff, look at the nearest dealer and look at the dealer site, right? That they search there.
It's not even at the dealer side. It's still at a very early stage still that people are looking and gathering information from various different sources. The problematic that you have a little bit, and this is the difficulty when you implement digital as well, is it's a mixture of national type of media, local type of media when you talk about dealerships and so on as well. So, but as a dealer, if you have a loyal customer base, this is the first thing we start with. You start contacting them again 2 years after the purchase. Have you thought about this product and this product?
Right. So this would definitely be potentially when they're on the site of the dealer that you would help them out with different cars that you have if they're already there. That might be because they already bought a car previously, right? And they already go to the dealership for maintenance. Then you can help them out in the search phase on what there is, what's right for them, and then start opportunities, at least start conversations with them on what they're looking now. So when they have a sports car before, now they might have children and they want another car, right? Is that
exactly?
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. So help them search for a new car.
Exactly.
Yep. All right. Makes sense. Yep. Cool.
Yeah.
Good one. Yep. New to me.
Then this is a standard one, and we had this one back at the retail as well, which is really your dealer locator. Where can I find this dealer, and what is his opening hours?
Right.
This is critical for any purchase.
Yeah. So then there's still they don't visit a lot of dealers, but when they are on the dealer site and they see it, and they go to the dealer site and they search for stuff and they search to go to the dealer, they search of cars that are there. Of course, in the US, a lot on stock cars. Then they can at least have a look on, okay, where's my nearest dealer, and with a bot. Sometimes we even have a bot, of course, like where are you at, right? You can share, for example, with Facebook Messenger or location, and then you immediately get a pop-up of this dealer's there, and off you go. Yeah, makes sense.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Then when you come into the compare phase here, it's really about, again, what is the car that is right for me, but what are which is really meeting my needs. Yeah. On the one hand, in the search phase, you have more the desirable aspect. So which is really like, I like this type of product. I like this type of product. In the compare phase, you come really down to the nitty gritty and understand is, what do I actually use it for? What do I need it for? And so on. And here, with the questions that you can raise in the bot, you can really go deep in terms of the needs that a customer have and ultimately come to a specific selection of products.
Right. Yep. Cool. Yep. Help them out. Understand your customer better here to provide them a good proposal of a certain car in that specific life time that they're at potentially.
Exactly. And when you know what you want, then basically it's really about, what can I afford? Where do I buy? That's a critical point as well within the compare phase, is what can I actually afford in terms of overall, what is my budget, and what do I need? Do I need financing, etc.?
Yep. How can I buy it based on my budget, and how do I want to finance it, right? Yeah, that's typically also a US thing.
Yeah. And then in terms of the site, and this is a little bit also in terms of the difference between US and Europe as well, whereas in Europe it's more built to order in a lot of cases, or at least that's the attempt to build to order. So vehicles are not really always ready on the lot. In the US, it's very much lot based. So it's, if the car is on the lot, then it's ideal. Basically, you can use the bot for that as well. Is this product available? Yes or no? And there are very simple features for that.
Cool.
Then when you make a selection, it's really about, am I getting a good deal? You get a test drive booking and so on. It's really the confirmation in terms of your decision process is this the right product for me?
And booking a test drive, making an appointment, of course, can also be automated in a bot. And
Exactly.
yeah, when you can at least propose an exact time, sometimes it's difficult to probably to say, "Here's that car back. Is there already test drive planned?" It's a little bit more advanced in the bot, but you can definitely automate that in giving them the availability of a certain car. That would be
Yeah,
really cool, I think, to make it
yeah,
really 24/7 on the couch, plan a test drive.
exactly. Because you don't want to go having to call the dealership first, see whether the car is available, then go through the discussion is when you want it, etc., etc., etc. This is a much easier and much more convenient way of doing things. Then when you get, and also what you have here, for instance, is a critical point when any purchase is I have a trade-in. So what am I getting back for my old car? Because it will be a critical element basically for the purchase of your new car and for the determination of your overall budget. So really with a trade-in, this is simply about, I have a trade-in, you have all kinds of things such as it indicates your license plate. You can put in data even on the basis of
Yeah,
that.
the mileage
And
that
then
you
on the
have,
basis of
and
that, you
yeah,
have an
yeah.
appointment.
Right. Yeah, you can already ask that out. Like, do you want to trade in? Yes, no. What type of car? What's the mileage?
Exactly.
Yeah. You at least can ask a lot more questions before they get in the dealership and potentially help them out already indicating on the price. I don't know if that's possible, but that would be
Exactly.
really cool. Yeah.
Yeah, usually, I mean, you give an indication in terms of the average price, and then the condition of the vehicle will determine the final price, basically.
Right. Yeah. Yep.
Now, and if the car is not on stock, and in particular in Europe, I get contacted, for instance, when the car is there, when the product has arrived from manufacturer, all these kind of things. Now, either it's, if you're lucky, you get an SMS from the salesman, but basically all this can be easily automated as well in terms of chatbot.
Well, you can have a really great experience, which I once had on saying, "Hey, it's coming. It's now in shipment. It's coming." All that sort of stuff.
Hmm.
It would be really cool if you get a great experience. I even got a car from the personal sales rep indicating it's here, and he sent me a picture.
Hmm.
So yeah, you can do a lot of automated stuff in getting a great experience. As you not bought something very cheap, sometimes for many people, it's a big investment. So from that perspective, to have a really great experience on when it's there, when it's getting prepared, when you can make an appointment to pick it up, that would be ideal. Yeah, that's
Look,
definitely
for most people, the car is the second biggest investment that they make, apart from the house. So overall, I mean, the level of emotion that is involved in the automotive, in the purchase of a vehicle is huge. So this is a critical thing in order to just get some satisfaction or get that surprise feeling as well with customers. Huh?
yeah. Ideal automation. Yeah.
Exactly. Or if you're basically at the time of purchase being asked to provide feedback on the sales process after buying. So how was it? How was the dealership and so on? We see you've had the appointment. Was everything to your liking, etc., etc. And if not, let's get in contact.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, to at least optimize the sales process afterwards.
Exactly. Because again, the sales process and the experience at the dealership determines a huge portion of the satisfaction of your brand. Then in terms of usage, first service interval, very simple. I mean, 20,000 kilometers in, 30,000 kilometers in, or I always, or an X number of mileage in, I get contacted and can indicate my desired appointment date. You do an appointment booking for service appointment. Very easy aspect that you can do through bots as well.
Right. Yeah, because you indicate the mileage, and then and they know the car you're driving. So off you go. You know how long the appointment should take, if they can wait or not. Because that's what I always
Hmm.
hate. I have to ask, like, can I wait for it or not, or are you gonna pick it up? And that
Do
would
you
be
run the
ideal
replacement
to right.
car, etc.,
Yeah,
etc.,
that those
etc.
kinds of questions. So you can perfectly automate that. Again. that you sit on the couch and plan it because you have to, then you don't have to call and phone up. You can plan it whenever you want. Yeah.
Exactly. Then I get contacted, for instance, when there's a new feature. Now what you have a lot of it is the onboard infotainment systems, where more and more features and possibilities are being integrated. So for instance, you get a little bit of a heads up saying, oh, this new feature is live now. Do you want to activate? Yes, no, etc.
Yep. Help them with the great experience of the car when there are updates.
Exactly. Optimize the usage. And last but not least is the evangelize phase, in terms of you get invited to review the dealer service, your vehicle online, share with your friends and family. This is really the moment in which you show and reflect on how was your experience, and was your experience to your liking, convenience, and with the right proper service levels.
Yep. That makes sense. Especially the sharing, right? Share a picture. And then,
Exactly.
with
Share a
friends
picture with your car,
or a video. Yep.
your new
Yep.
baby.
Right. Yeah. Well, great. Yeah, great insight. So from the beginning to end, looking at the search and how you can start the conversations, it's definitely critical to get them at the dealer, to have a great experience in comparing and opportunities in financing, but also in of course usage. Less with electrical vehicles, but still necessary. Make appointments, having a strong relationship with your consumer on new stuff that's are all very good, very good things to start with, and engaging with the driver and with your consumer. Yeah, cool insights, marvelous. Yeah, so that of course was more driven by Jerome's previous experience in automotive and extensive experience in marketing in that area. So
And I
yeah,
had to keep it short.
well,
He
you have to
told
keep
me
it
to
short.
keep it short.
Yeah. That's otherwise when I would add things, then it would be a long episode. But no, it's great insights, guys. If you have a question for us, please do so. We're more than happy to oblige in answering them. So go to botimplementation.com/ask. Our bot Timbo will guide you to some questions, and you can submit it there. So love to hear your feedback. Also, you can dump it there as well in our botimplementation.com/ask. Also in the notes. So yeah, ending our episode, will move on, and we will have a look at some great quote. You probably have found that one as well, Jerome, in the area of automotive.
Yes. So
Yeah,
the person itself is has nothing related to the automotive industry as well, but I loved it. And the quote is really about that. It's, I'm not just buying a car, I'm buying a lifestyle. And that's effectively the level of emotion as well. And hence for me, and I think this is also what is coming back in terms of the popularity with Tesla and so on, and they've captured really that element on it. It has become very much, it is a status symbol. It is a lifestyle. It is something that tells you about yourself, what you're buying, how you're buying it, and what you're driving. And ultimately, if the market, if the industry is not switching on with this level of convenience and optimizing the consumer behavior, I mean, how can you optimize then your sales performance as well?
Right. Yeah. Engaging with, continue to engage in a preferred manner with the consumers, not only in the sales process but also in usage and afterwards. I think is critical to really turn these people into brand ambassadors. What you mentioned in the beginning, to take that a little bit back, that they're not really staying with the brand. So to really engage with the people and start one-on-one conversations, I think that's definitely a must. Not only in the car, I would think, but we also have some previous episodes about being on, of course, on the mobile. Engage with them there, because that's the device that they always have with them. Yeah, that would be really cool to really have a great brand experience and turn it even more into this lifestyle of your brand. That's
Exactly. And not turn it into, oh my God, I need to have that discussion with the dealership about the discount that I want.
Right.
Because everybody thinks that the price listed is not the right price.
Yeah, that's cool. No, that it should be a great experience buying a car, using a car, and also preaching to others about the car. Excellent.
The last bit, there was a very nice article that I read as well on this one, which, and then I'll let you go, Hans, sorry, which was about, it is consumers, and it was in the UK, consumers find it more stressful or prefer being stuck in an elevator than going to the dealership.
All right.
That's the level of the level of stress of going to a dealership.
All right. Yeah. They want to really, they really think that they're going to really push the sales rather than that they get to know what you're really looking for. So that makes also a lot of sense related to the research that you had, that they search more and more and more online, and then go to only 1 or 2 dealerships instead of 7 because they find it still a pain. So yeah, there's a lot to improve there, which is really exciting business. So guys, if you're if you're really interested in connecting with us, please do so. And that's it for today. We're gonna wish you, of course, a very good weekend, and happy driving, safe driving. Don't drink and drive, right? Although some cars are on autopilot. But thanks so much for listening, and take care. Up to the next time, and have a good one, and happy body.
And see you soon.